How fast can a child learn a musical instrument compared to an adult? How fast can they learn a second or third language? They learn fast, right? Because why? How many people you hear a song and it'll take you back to when you were a child? Raise your hand. How many people it's not a song, but maybe it's a fragrance or a food that will take you back decades? Because information combined with emotion became a long-term memory. We don't do things logically all the time. We do things what? Emotionally. The state that you learn something in, the mood and the feelings that you learn something in gets attached to what you want to learn. I'm going to give you 6 keys to learn anything faster. You can write these down. I want you to remember, be fast. Be fast. 6 keys to learn any subject or skill faster. So the B in be fast stands for believe. Because if you believe you can or believe you can't, either way, what? You're right. A lot of people say, oh, I have a bad memory, right? They always think I have memory, or I have focus, or I don't have focus, or I have creativity, I don't have creativity. I want you to scrap that. Creativity is not something you have, it's something you do. Focus is not something you have, focus is something you do. Memory is not something you have, it's something you do. There is no such thing as a good or bad memory. There's just a trained memory and an untrained memory. Your brain is like a supercomputer, and your self-talk is a program it will run. So if you tell yourself you're not good at remembering names, you will not remember the name of the next person you meet because you programmed your supercomputer not to. Your mind is always eavesdropping on your self-talk. So B is believe. Believe you can, believe you can. Now the E, I'm gonna go through these really fast, is exercise. And what I mean by this is I mean physical exercise. Because your brain, the primary function of your brain is to control your movement. As your body moves, your brain grooves. If you want to learn any subject or skill faster, the F is to forget. A lot of people don't learn faster because they feel like they know it already. A lot of people don't learn because they haven't emptied their cup. Does that make sense? That you hear all these cliches, but there's truth in every cliche, that your mind is like a parachute, it only works when it's what? It's open. So this is the beginner's mind, right? So you want to forget about anything else than what you're learning here, temporarily. The A in fast stands for active, active. The human brain and the mind doesn't learn consuming information, it learns through creating it. Does that make sense? So you have to be active. You take notes, you ask questions, you participate in it. The S in fast stands for state, that all learning is state dependent, right? Most people, like when they read, they're in a bored state. People wonder why they don't remember what they read. So control your state. Finally, the T in fast and be fast stands for teach. You learn with the intention of teaching it to somebody else. If you had to teach this to somebody when you got back home, your team, your family, your friends, would you learn it differently? Would your focus be better? Yes or yes? Would you ask better questions? Would you take better notes? Right? So you learn with the intention of teaching to somebody else. Because when you teach something, you get to learn it twice. Let me close with this. If you could go back to that child inside of you, that younger self, and right now tell them something that they need to hear, what would that be? And if you were to go in the future, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years ahead in the future, I believe you have wisdom inside of you. I believe you have greatness inside of you. If you were to project 10 years ahead of time and look back on this day right now, what does your current self need to hear from your future self? I have a quote that I get quoted on more than anything else. It talks about an egg and stress. That your egg is like your life. That if an egg is broken by an outside force, life ends. But if it's broken by an inside force, life begins. And all great things begin on the inside. Thank you very much.